I'm in Las Vegas, the #1 destination for couples to do the craziest thing of all, get married.
Are you in the adjoining suite?
Once the door closes, you can barely hear a thing.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. We are going from walk like a man to think like a man. But it is spelled T-O-O. It's so clever. Ben, Christy, Alonzo, Matt. This is the sequel you never thought you wanted to Think Like a Man. Describe it, please.
So the first Think Like a Man kept reminding us that it was based on Steve Harvey's dating guide, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. And now they're still thinking like men because they are back. This time they're all in Vegas. It's for the wedding of Candace and Michael, and apparently all the lessons from the first movie have to be relearned by the dozen or so leading characters in the film. Take a look.
Let's go. This is your bachelor party. Next 24 hours, the boys will be with the boys.
And the girls with the girls.
In this battle of the sexes, I was determined to keep us ahead of the girls.
You're rolling with the pros.
Let's go!
Girl, I must I sense something strange in my mind.
For one blissful night, gentlemen, we are free from all of our obligations, all of our responsibilities. Oh, God! This ain't over, Randy.
Hey, Randy, I'm Bennett.
Bennett, get your ass on.
Oh, boy.
You stole the boys' ride? Genius.
How are they gonna get around?
I ordered a pent-out party bus with a stripper pole in it. Do we look like a group of guys who's gonna roll to a spot or something like this?
As a matter of fact, you do.
Kids! Are we in here right now? Let me do all the talking. No. I'm a season 1 holder of eyes. Have you seen it? No. Exactly, so you don't have the knowledge. Everybody listen up!
They've figured out all their conflicts and all their issues, so what is left for them to do?
Have them all over again.
Go to Vegas.
Well, yeah, they go to Vegas and forget everything they learned in the first movie. Like, I mean, one of the things that was so great about How to Train Your Dragon 2 was that all the characters were older and smarter and had learned stuff the first time around, and they were learning new things this time. And this feels like such a, well, that sort of lazy sequel, let's just do this again thing.
I thought one of the biggest problems with it was like there was such dramatic energy levels and seeming effort, although I can't read into their souls, between cast members. Like Michael Ealy goes through the movie like, hey, I'm finally making $3 million in a movie or whatever it is, you know, and Kevin Hart is
swinging for the fences.
Like swinging for the fences every time,
right.
And it was, and I don't think that helped because Kevin Hart is enormously talented and can carry some movies. It's just here, either it was too much of a burden to carry this movie, or perhaps he needed to bring it back a little bit in this one.
Screaming the narration of this film. All the narrative of this film. It's Kevin Hart talking. My joke in the review is that like they taped it backstage at a concert and like he couldn't be heard, you know.
And a little bit of Kevin Hart goes a long way. That's part of why it worked in the first film.
There's only a little of
right,
it.
and I'm 5 feet tall, so I can say that. But you know, the thing with the first movie, it kind of made him a star, right? Because in small sporadic doses, he can be kind of scene stealing and kind of entertaining. But this is like wall to wall Kevin Hart, and he narrates the entire thing. He's stuck with all these terrible basketball metaphors, like extended, tortured basketball metaphors about like fadeaway jumpers and things like that.
It took me until when he says, you know, but now we're in the third quarter, and I was like, were we in the first and second quarters? Like, I don't remember that part.
Did the Laker girls come out?
I was going to say the same exact thing, yes.
The thing, I mean, I went back and read my review of the first movie because I didn't really remember it, and the material was, you know, it was middling, but the cast is great. This is a terrific ensemble of actors that you don't see often enough and getting meaty enough material. You know, people like Gabrielle Union and Regina Hall and Taraji Henson and Michael Ealy and Romany Malco, and I feel like they are swamped with so much not very interesting character and plot stuff that it's the second bananas that really wind up stealing the movie, mainly Dennis Haysbert and Wendy McClendon-Covey.
Who was not in the first one, right. So you have your token dorky white couple.
Right.
Right, and so...
Who keeps wanting to see Jersey Boys.
Right, I was thinking about that too.
And in the screening, when they said go to Jersey Boys, I leaned over to Kirsty, I'm like, don't.
But they were funny. They were funny. I think it basically helped.
Yeah, I mean, I like all the people in this movie, but oh my God, like for example, okay, I love Jennifer Lewis, I love Regina Hall, Terrence J, not so much. He's the E! News guy, is a little out of his depth here. But they have this big emotional scene at the end that is so contrived and artificial, and I was just thinking, oh man, like these actresses do not work enough, and now you're giving them this, and it's just sort of like.
Well, the best part of the whole movie is an extended music video for Belle Biv
Yes.
DeVoe's Poison, right? Which
Drunk girls will be badly imitating it for years.
Oh my God, it's just, I love that song, and like not even in a kitschy way, but it totally
Sure.
gets, like Tim Story, who directed the movie, directed this part of it too, of course, and he gets like that late 90s, early 2000s look of every hip hop video, every rap video.
Talking to the fisheye lens,
Right.
yeah.
It's so funny, and it's like for one brief moment, the movie is fun and it's lively. It's not just like cliched and contrived and like wacky. It's jubilant for a while and then it's over.
You know, I'm looking at some. You mentioned them. I just want to back it up because, like Taraji P. Henson, Regina Hall, Gabrielle Union,
Megan Good.
Like they're like really good, and like they should all work more and in different kinds of things. And so I was much more comfortable with the scenes with the women than the men in general. Although some of the men are good too. I think that was just the nature of the sort of the way it was written and the scenes they were given. But then, as you knew it would, it was a movie about a bachelor and bachelorette parties in Vegas, and it devolved into something that would never happen in a billion years, and also wasn't funny.
What, going to the strip club?
Going to the strip club and finding each other at the strip club and whatever.
But there's things that happen, like they set up.
Well, the thing that happened after that was a little bit funny.
There are jokes that they set up or situations that they set up that they then completely abandon, right? Like Kevin Hart pulls up in this very
The
expensive
Lamborghini, yeah,
orange.
we never see it again.
You think this is going to matter because he makes a big deal out of it.
I think
You
it's
never
the
see
same
it
car
again.
from 22 Jump Street.
That's really funny. It might be. They might have borrowed it. They are making flyers for this gigantic party at the $40,000 a night suite that Kevin Hart
Right, the party
inadvertently.
It never happens.
What
Right.
happened? Like it never happens. But also, you don't know what
Who shows up.
Right? What happened at that room? And they're not in the room for
Right, you kinda
whatever
wanna see
reason.
the
But what
party that-
happened?
that shows up
like
at the end
Floyd
of Las
Mayweather is invited to the party. Does he come?
Right.
I mean,
it was like there was a whole thing shot that they didn't include.
Like I shudder to think that they spent a bunch of money shooting that and then
then-
cut it.
Yeah, it might not. I don't know.
No, sorry.
No, again.
No, is it just this is one of those movies that feels like such an extended ad for Vegas. You know, like
Right.
ever since The Hangover, there is this way that people make Vegas movies that feels like a long, like convention and visitors bureau commercial. You
Right,
know, like
Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood Casino and the villas at the Caesars and the
They're
Fountain
opening
of the Bellagio.
right, they're opening a new restaurant at Planet Hollywood that Michael Ealy may or may not be the sous chef at. I mean, like, and then when they need to give Wendy McClane and Covey a makeover, let's go to BB. Like it's a
Yeah.
very specific store for slutty clothing.
Yeah, I mean, at Planet Hollywood. Yeah, because Planet Hollywood is not a signature Vegas. I like it a lot. It's a
I
place
never
I
stayed
get-
there.
I like it a lot, and there's an Earl of Sandwich there, which is is really
What you're looking for.
hard to get a
in
better
Vegas.
BLT than the BLT at the Earl of Sandwich.
Speaking of being
forget the
brought to you
99-cent
by.
price.
But it's not. But that said, it was in the background a lot. Planet Hollywood, like it was across the street often, or they were, and then he was at the restaurant, at this elite restaurant in Planet Hollywood, which I have a tough time believing. Yeah, it didn't. But like, and also there's a thing at the end. They had a chance for like the kind of tender moment that I like. Because there's a money issue for Kevin Hart. Like he doesn't realize that, I don't think I'm betraying anything there, realize how much the room he's paid for it costs.
Actually costs,
He's missing a zero. And then at the end there's a moment for somebody to cover that bill for him, and it could have been like a nice bro moment, and instead it just was a scene where friends get to hold other friends back from hitting each other.
Right.
It's just
It ends with the plot setup of what happens in Vegas.
right.
actually.
So yeah,
Well,
so
the whole thing is so streaky. I was saying to you guys walking out of it, like the way it's cut made me really anxious. Like it's cut in a really like crazy making kind of frantic way. But you can clearly see there's going to be a third one because one couple is going to have a baby.
that's right. I mean, I guess
Think
look
like a
at
baby.
and
Think like a man, baby.
I don't know how it'll
That's
do,
gonna be
but-
your threequel.
I got an email this morning from Fandango, and
Think like a baby goo.
and apparently it's tracking better than any other Kevin Hart movie right now, as far as excitement to see it. So that would suggest that it's going to have a big weekend and probably do pretty well. In which case, then there probably will be a third.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a third one, I hope it's more like the first one than the second one.
Okay, it's your
I didn't
numbers.
see the first one, so I thought this was okay, especially having seen that terrible movie the night before. So,
You call it by its
Jersey Boys.
name. What's its name?
Jersey Boys.
Yes. Okay. So what's your number then, Matt? Actually.
My number is 5.5.
Okay.
See, I was kind of very meh on it, and I also gave it a 5.5. I guess from the other direction.
I give it a 3.
That's
Yeah,
too low.
I gave it my standard sort of, a little better than average. Like you're okay if this is what you want to see. It's all right. It's all right. 5.1. Yeah.
Okay, so our average is a 4.8. It is at 18% right now on the
it's pretty
tomato
low.
meter. Right.
It's not, I don't, it's
Haters.
not that atrocious. Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Bye.